Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl Tanya, Lady T, and yes, you have stopped by my channel where I love sharing my passion for fashion and many other things. Well, today I'm going to do something different, y'all. I want to touch on a topic, and it's simply about your peace. Having peace, attaining peace, and sustaining peace in your life. Um, Without having to divulge names of individuals, I'm just going to give you a situation that has happened that I was a witness to. And this is something that has brought a question in my mind as to what are the things that we can do or not do to keep our peace. Well, long story short, imagine, if you will, you've been dating a man for 5 plus years, and you all have a child together. Okay, so you begin to shack and do those type of things and live as though you were a married couple, and your relationship becomes so toxic. I mean, you love that person, you love one another, you feel like you can't even leave the room without being attached to this person. But because the relationship had gotten so toxic, and it takes two people to make a relationship, so some of it is her fault, some of it is his fault. We're not talking about faults here. But for the sake of, you know, telling you what happened, is so since they couldn't get along as a couple, and hopefully they wanted to get married, it was just too toxic. You know, the female was too jealous, the man, he was a liar, so all these different variables come into this one bowl, and they explode, and so now they have to separate. So now the best thing for them to do is just be the best parents they can be for the child that they share together. Okay, so they decide to split up, you know, let bygones be bygones. We're gonna do the best thing we can do for our child. Well, the male, 6 months after they split, he meets another female. They get together, the relationship is wonderful. All of a sudden, boom, he ups and marries this woman. They go down to the justice of the peace. Wonderful. Everybody's excited for him, kind of shocked that it happened so quick, but that is what they chose to do. Now, my question was, and without going into all the other details as to what happened about the mama meeting the wife for the first time, all that, yes, that went down. But as a female, it has happened to a lot of females out there. It could be some people are probably in that relationship right now. But I'm going to come from the angle of what can we learn from that, if there's anything to be learned. I had the opportunity to ask the male, let me just ask you this. Okay, here you have been with this woman, you've got history with her, you with her for 5 plus years, y'all share a child together. What happened, or what was wrong with that relationship that you all couldn't seal the deal, so to speak? What was it that caused you to be able to leave a 5 year relationship and then immediately, and not to mention now, you hook up with this woman that's a total opposite of what you have ever dated or been involved with? But this particular female, when he met her, he realized that she was the one, and that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. So like I said, they went to the Justice of the Peace, got married, everything is wonderful. So I asked the question because as a female, I was just curious. We women, we talk to a lot of females. We have a lot of female friends, but I also am a female. I like to get a male's perspective sometimes on things. So he simply answered the question. Good God Almighty. He simply said, I had peace. And I kind of drew back, and I was like, oh, okay. How so? He said, well, in this other relationship, I always had to prove who I was as a man. She never gave me the opportunity to be a man. She was always trying to check my wallet for receipts to make sure the times on the receipt coincided with the time I should have been home. And as soon as I got home, she would pounce on me. Where you been? Who you been with? Who did you say you went out with? Constantly trying to trip him up in a lie. If he forgot to tell her that he stopped to buy Subway to get something, and then she happens to find the receipt where he went to Subway. Well, why come you didn't tell me you went to Subway? Foolishness. Foolishness. So he had to deal with that for all those many years, but because of the love he had for this woman and the love, of course, that he had for his child, he wanted to make sure when his child woke up that his child saw daddy's face. So he was trying to, in a sense, be the perfect family, so to speak. But because he was having to deal with this woman that he truly loved, but he had no peace. Good God. He had no peace. So he had got to a point where he felt like he was being suffocated. He felt like he could not breathe. He could not move and have his being. So he said when I met her, his wife now, he said she gave me peace. She let me be the man. She allowed me to make decisions as it related to their relationship. She didn't pounce on me as soon as I got home. And I believe in that. I truly believe in that. I know some people have lives that are so chaotic that they don't even know how to function in calm. But I say that devil is a lie. Yeah, I have a hectic lifestyle as far as it relates to work, and I'm very active in my ministry. But if there's one place, because see, the world don't have nothing for us. It's full of mischief. It's full of murderers, rape. It's full of all kinds of vile things. And there's some good somewhere. But for the most part, the world don't have anything for us. That's why, as a woman of God, I take my refuge in God because He gives me that perfect peace. So, like I said, when this man said that he had peace, and that's what we all want. That's what we all search for, is to have that peace, even if it ain't but for 5 or 10 minutes. And like I said, going back to what I was saying, I believe in giving people peace because, like I said, the world don't have nothing for us. But there should be one place that we should be able to have a little bit of peace, and that's in our homes, in our dwelling places. Are we causing unnecessary ripples in our own pond? Are we sitting back constantly waiting on the shoe to drop? Because the world has so desensitized us to so much negativity that we don't even seek anything positive. We don't even seek any happiness. We're constantly waiting on the shoe to drop. But I say to you out there who are in that type of situation, or this has happened to you, the good news is we don't have to beat ourselves up. We just start our first works over. We start over. We pick up where we left off and try to do better. Once we know better, we can do better. So when we come home from work, when I come home from work, yes, I sit down in my chair or my recliner and I get the driving stress off of me. And I know we may have lives and families that constantly need us. We got people pulling on both ends. But if you set the atmosphere, and I've seen it done, and I know it can be done. It's just what are we willing to sacrifice to make sure that it happens? There are some households. I have a friend that has 6 children, but when she comes home, they know not to pounce on mommy. Mommy needs 30 minutes to unwind, to take my clothes off, to put on my house attire, begin to do dinner or whatever. They know. Of course, you greet your family. Of course, I'm not saying that. But as far as before I need to know about the light bill to do, the water bill, the phone bill, before I get pounced or you pounce on your spouse with all that, let them be able to know that they can come home. Because the world requires so much from us and our families. But as a family, when we come home, let's make it conducive. Let's make the atmosphere be at peace. Because we don't know the type of annoyance that we're causing our loved ones. I mean, I was reading Tyrese Gibson's book, How to Get Out of Your Own Way. And all throughout that book, he said that there was so much going on at his home that he was looking forward to go to school. He was looking forward to doing all these other things outside of his own home because there was no peace there. He was glad when the morning came so he can leave and go to school and do things, because there was so much chaos in his own home. That's a shame that the only time you can find peace is outside your home. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. I mean, yeah, we would love for it to be peace outside the home and inside the home, but when you have to escape your own, that means your own family, the people that you're supposed to love, your blood and flesh and blood. The only type of peace that you have is when you're away from them. It should be that way. It should be that way. But it is. It is. So anyway, I said all that to say that is, let's ask ourselves the question, what are we going to do to set our atmosphere in our relationships? Let's not live a life of always waiting on the shoe to drop. Yes, we need to be aware of a lot of devices that can come against us. I'm not saying that. Yes, we need to be knowledgeable so we don't perish. But I tell y'all, as a lover of God that I am, I enjoy my salvation. Yes, I do. I listen to jazz. I listen to R&B. Those are the frivolous things that people say, oh, I can't believe you do that. You're a Christian. Yes. God said, I want you to have a life and have it more abundantly. He didn't want me to just sit in my house wrapped up like a mummy in a burrito and not experience these wonderful things. No. But at the same time, he also wants us to have peace. So guess what? If God ain't getting all riled up and excited about stuff, why should I? Because I know he's got it all under control. But those things that we can provide peace for, let's do it. Let's not live a life waiting on the shoe to drop. But let's live a life of wearing our shoes and taking our and allowing our shoes to take us where we need to go. And that's down the road of Happy Street. That's down the road of Peace Street. And that's down the road of Love Street. So anyway, I just wanted to come in because that was just on my heart that we all need peace. And anything we can do to create the atmosphere for peace, let's do it. Let's do it. And as I always say at the end of my videos, God bless you and peace be with you. Bye-bye.